For me, floods become baptismal. It seems they're unsolicited, but we need a cleanse. So when we find our streets under ends, it means that we come to meet the beginning again. So sometimes we need that washed over. And the beauty of it being able to be placed in a sense of understanding, because we have now been put in the position to understand them. That helplessness, that feeling of unrelinquished inhibitions, because we can't even give remnants to what it is to unclench our fists. We are trying to hold on for our own dear life, for all the things that we have that we think we need to get to the next day, not realizing that we have to have all of our shit washed away just so we can have a new, to be made anew, to find a newness in this blueness, because we have to be able to be true in this. And then you think about the climate of those who come into this fakeness, being declared that they are passive aggressive. That's bullshit. They are just past the ignorance of being negative. So no, I'm not going to induce conflict and tell you that you ain't worth shit, but I will say that you are worth so much more than you relinquish yourself to be executed with. But some of us have to die to ourselves, so I have to understand the need for your own baptism, your spirit. Now don't be distracted by my synonyms. We can all call it something spiritual, or just the washing over of you waking up the next day and realize that you made it to the next. But let me ask you better, do you fall asleep or do you go to sleep? Do you live each day or do you survive the night? Do you understand the depth of sleepless nights, understanding when the words are so strong, so piercing that you can't even find solace of silence because you have to write? Understand what it is for us to ignite pages with our pens and realize that the blood leads to the ink, because we have to find ourselves able to think that we can actually get back to the place of the ability to find our sync, to be in sync. So I can lock eyes with you and be able to make you think that you are so much more than you are bargained for, and your suit and tie ain't shit compared to the crown you wear that is invisible, but I see your thoughts. Yes, girl. You have to think about how we have the ability to lock eyes with strangers and realize we have come to know relations, not those relations, but those we can relate on, because there's no sense in me saying that you are not as much my sister as my own, and even more so, how we can find brethren to be something so much more beautiful than what we be told on a Sunday morning, but even more so on a Tuesday afternoon when it's storming. And isn't it even more amazing how we find ourselves in those dark places, and someone's eyes being bright enough to enlighten, the illuminate, the ability for us to not longer be in that sense of disgrace. Our faces are not worth our own image being detected, but we won't even give ourselves 5 seconds in the mirror to acknowledge our own beauty, our worth, our value, and then have the audacity to say thank you and not mean it when they tell us that we're beautiful. It's ridiculous. Come on. Your social climate is what you set the tone for your own atmosphere when ain't nobody around. Your character is defined by this. So when you're able to walk around with your head up parallel to the ground, you realize that there's nothing anybody can tell you that you didn't know in the first place. Yes, motherfucker, I am. Yeah. And I don't speak in the truth because I walk in the truth, because I know the purpose of my own life is not for anything else but to give you the same life that was given to me. Sometimes your darkness is worth it. Sometimes you find yourself with nothing to do because you were supposed to be at rest. Realize that the batteries have negative and positive, but ain't no sense of them being so close together that you can't really depict the difference. And there's no difference between the walks of those next to you, but realize that sometimes you are going to have to go through some shit. You have to go through some shit to realize the growth of your shit is something really beautiful. Like being able to say that I didn't get the position I bargained for, but now I'm doing my purpose. Making more money than I thought I was worth, but even realizing that sometimes you have to look at the point of being able to understand that everything that you spoke of this morning, you have to realize that you need somebody to give you that, what's it called? Confirmation. You don't need nobody to confirm your validation, but understand that sometimes you need a reminder that you are motherfucking worth it. Okay. So take a deep breath and walk in your purpose. Yes!